It's showtime, folks.
Hello. It's been a long time.
It has been a while, and we were trying to figure that out when the last time we were live. I think we were in Fort Dodge, Iowa. Anyway, welcome everybody to another mildly entertaining live stream. Hopefully the audio is working. I can hear myself very faintly on my phone next to me, which is a failsafe for me. By the way, I'm Bill.
And I'm Natasha.
And we are nursing our travel bug. Let's just scroll down to the bottom of the comments, just in case.
I'm sure we're fine. Nobody said no, they can't hear us, so.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Okay.
That's good. Welcome. How's everybody doing? We are coming at you live from
Batesville, Indiana.
I don't know where we are.
Yeah, the most, well, not the most, but the southeast kind of portion of the state of Indiana, very close to Cincinnati, where we've been hanging out for a good portion of the summer.
Kind of right between Cincinnati and Indianapolis.
Yes, for sure. And we'll talk to you why we're hanging out in Podunk, Indiana.
It's a very lovely place.
It's okay.
Come on wheels!
Hello, Travis and Yanai. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you for letting us have your time slot this evening. Natasha's like, oh no, we can't go up against them. I'm like, oh no, we'll figure something out.
Yes. So Travis and Yanai, if you all don't know, they do a live stream every Tuesday night, and they will be on live after our stream. So you have to make sure that you hop on over and continue the conversation and fun there. But they're more faithful with the live streams than we are. We just go once a month. And even that's been tricky this past summer. So we hadn't been consistent. So thank y'all for being willing to bump some stuff around. So we would have some people come and join us today.
Thank you very much.
And they're commenting on the thumbnail, medical care. Haha, my nurse friends are always missing when we get injuries. Well, you got our number. So feel free to call. Seriously. I can name a handful of people actually in the RV community that have reached out to me knowing I'm a nurse just for some advice. And it's free. So come on over.
Free!
There is some more of our friends, RVFamily.life.
First member in the house.
Ooh,
welcome.
Members, welcome.
Just for you.
I failed though. I left this up and we couldn't see all the pictures. Let's try that again. A little rusty. Let's try it again.
There you go. So cool, and it's so cool to have actual pictures in some of those.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't met all of our members, but it's so cool to have pictures together.
For sure.
With members that we do have.
Yes.
So yeah, anytime one of our members pops in, we got a little something special for you. Just to say thanks.
For sure.
Thank you for being a friend.
Calm down, Blanche.
Oh.
But it's so good to see you guys. We were bummed we didn't get to go to the YouTuber Jamboree and meet up with.
Would have much rather been there.
For sure. And I'm trying to think of like the last time we saw David and Tanya and the kiddos. I think it was the Tampa show, actually.
Yep.
The last time we saw y'all. So we miss you.
Yeah.
Hopefully this winter, maybe our paths will cross.
Figure out something in Tejas.
Yes. Oh, they were doubting us. I wonder if the premiere will start on time. Oh, we made it. Speaking of Indiana, there's Indiana Boy. Hey there, Jim.
We're in this town named after Jim.
Perhaps it was founded by their family.
Maybe. Back when Jim was a youngin', the town was founded.
I was thinking like ancestors.
Oh.
It's Batesville, Indiana. Yeah. Yes,
Over the
live
Bates
stream.
Motel. Whoa, is there a Bates Motel here?
I don't care
Batesville Motel.
I'm all good. I don't care to
All
find it. Yeah.
good. X marks the spot. Hello.
Hey guys, how
Kansas.
you doing?
Is it windy? It's always windy in Kansas.
Yeah, well, it's the plains. That's pretty typical. They left the beautiful mountains of Colorado. I saw on, I think, Instagram, they had posted the mountains had gotten a dusting of snow.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, when you see that, it is time to go.
Time to go.
So glad y'all are back in the plains.
I always say, because I'm from Nebraska, people say Nebraska's the most boring state to drive across, and you have obviously never driven across Kansas.
True story. True story, for sure. Yeah, fields and fields and fields of nothing.
Because there's no reason to, really. Unless you're heading to, like, I-80 is this huge corridor.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people take that. So, like, Nebraska, still boring, because we're going to Colorado or Utah or somewhere fancy. We got to go through Nebraska.
Well, at least sometimes you get to see some corn or some cows. We got that on you, Kansas.
Got
Boom.
runs in your face.
And they can hear us. Whoop, whoop,
That
whoop,
is barely. Uh-oh. Is it really? Is it bad? We can jack it up, turn it up.
whoop. Ooh, I don't know.
Who knows? It is Travis. You could just be joking.
Oh, wait, we didn't change the settings on our mic from the last time.
Oh,
Let's try this. Testing. Can you hear me now? Hello? Boris, is that you? Let us know if that's any better, y'all. Okay.
Yes.
Back to lives like the good old days. Kind of. We're still testing out the monthly lives. I know for sure we couldn't go back to weekly lives just with everything we got going on. Like, I am struggling just to get maintenance stuff done on the RV.
We did skip September because we were back home with family, so we thought
August.
that's a good reason not to. Or
that was August.
We went live in August.
Oh.
We did not go live in September.
See, it's been too long. I can't even keep track. There's J. Charles Outdoors.
Greetings.
Hello, friend.
Hello.
Welcome. We're glad you're here. We got Lucky Dog Productions moderator.
Hello, Sue. Hello, Bob. Hello to the Lucky Dogs.
So glad you guys made it through Hurricane Ian. That you guys had minimal damage. Glad you're doing well.
Indiana boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Somebody. So I called Bob Blue Wave just to check in, and then somebody the other day was mentioning Brad and Diane. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yep, because they are
in. They should have checked in with them. But
Fort Myers.
Yeah, but Ricky and Barbara were talking about them. Sounds like they are okay as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of the lifestyle we live is that you can just wheel up and head on out. You just have to fight the traffic to clear on out. We were talking, though, so obviously being from the Midwest, we can handle tornadoes. That's no big deal for us because, it hits a small area. Usually those areas are pretty rural. It doesn't typically hit cities and things like that. So when a tornado does touch down, it's not usually anywhere near you.
Yeah. We've looked at it. Yeah, I grew up in Omaha, surrounded by concrete, and I think the big tornado, last one that's hit there was like 1975. Mm-hmm. So they're due. They always say they're due. It's coming.
But my point is like tornadoes don't frighten me like hurricanes do. And it's not necessarily like the hurricane itself. Folks that are from hurricane zones will say, oh, you get plenty of warning as opposed to a tornado. And that's true. But for me, it's the widespread devastation. And it's not just like, boom, there it happened and it's over. Like, then you deal with flooding and you deal with power outages, which then affects like getting clean water and keeping food on hand. And to me, that's what's frightening about a hurricane. But we found it interesting, the fact that Florida's a peninsula. So the hurricane is coming in on one side. So a lot of folks that we talked to just simply went to the other side of the state. Like for me, I would be hightailing it out of there. I would be up in like the mountains of the Appalachians.
I'm going to Maine.
Right?
I'm out of here. I'm going to Canada.
Right? So it's just, I mean, kudos to all of you guys that were able to brave it and to make it through. We were praying for sure, but it is just, it's wild. That is not for me. That is a weather system. Nope, I couldn't handle.
Mayor Jim. I'd like to see that. Jim is the mayor of that town.
I missed it.
Batesville.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there it is.
The mayor.
Yeah.
Mayor Jim.
Yeah. Yep. Tampa RV show, proving that Bill does fit in our RV. Yes.
True.
Yep. And they have what brand is it?
Open Range.
Yes.
Open Range.
Yep. Beautiful rig. Loved it. There is Jimmy Cox. Hey,
Jimmy
good
Cox.
to see you guys.
Another person we missed out on seeing at the Jamboree. How cool would that been?
Yes.
We'll have to figure that out.
Yeah.
Get together with some folks.
For sure. Yeah, they made their reservations for the RV Tampa show in January.
Oh yeah,
I don't think it's going to be in the cards for us this year.
Never say never.
That's true.
Pretty close to never. No.
We find, I don't know about you all, but we find with our travels, we tend to swing, from one coast to the other.
Just with our travels.
Yes. So, off color, Bill. But like
we are a little off color. I feel like.
But if we do like Florida one year, then we want to do Texas the next year, or Texas or Arizona the next year, and kind of go back and forth. And mostly because we have family back in like the center portion of the country. So we usually try and stop and see them at one point during the year before we head the other way.
It's good for our mental health, usually, to be around some sort of family around the holiday. Otherwise,
Yep.
It's just not as fun.
Yeah. So Sue says they did not lose power, no flooding, just lost internet for 4 days. The humanity.
I don't know. Food, internet.
That's tough.
That'd be tough.
That's tough. No, but seriously, I'm glad that was the worst of it for you guys. Hallelujah. Okay, and changing the mic looks like it worked. Thank you, Travis and Unai, for confirming.
It did work.
We aren't family enough for you to do lives. No. That's not what we're saying. It is challenging balancing doing lives all of the time to do the weekly thing. Before when we were doing weekly lives.
We'd rather spend time with family than do it live. Yes. I mean, that is true. Yes.
It's hard when you go back home and visit, and you have all these friends and all these family members, and they have their lives. You're going to come in and interrupt with their routines and stuff, so it's hard to squeeze everybody in. And then I'm still working, and we're kids are still doing school and all of the things, and so it was easier to not do a live stream, although we've missed you guys tremendously for sure. The Journey Awaits is here. Hello.
Howdy.
Welcome. Good to see you guys. Now, they are Floridians as well. How did you all fare in the storms? Hopefully well. It sounds like a lot of folks are getting back to normal, or, at least getting power back on.
These people we know, we've seen, RV parks or places that are just devastated. I did see some folks on Facebook that said that they're actually heading down in that direction to try to help out, do some cleanup. So
yeah, there you go. Yeah, I do
folks
have coworkers.
We know are okay. I know that.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean like it. Yeah, it was definitely a lot of devastation, a lot of very bad damage, and they're going to be cleaning up.
Yeah, the rebuilding process. I can only imagine. I do have coworkers though, like since I'm doing, telephone triage from home, we have a lot of employees all across the country, but several of them are in actually like the Gulf Coast region from Texas to Florida. And, we kind of put in a contingency plan, like, your safety is of the utmost importance. So, if you have to evacuate, do so, let people know. There are folks on standby to fill in, when folks had to, cut out. But even, days later, there's still coworkers that haven't got like their power back on or haven't got their internet back on so that they can work. And although, there is job security, like they're not going to get fired for not being able to come to work, they're also not getting paid either. So that's got to be stressful. So it's tough. I can only imagine. Sue says tornadoes are more frightening to me than hurricanes. See, I think it depends on where you grow up. If you grow up used to hurricanes, it's no biggie. If you grow up used to tornadoes, that's no biggie. So I think it's just a matter of perspective and what you're used to.
I think either way, like we were talking, I don't know what coming up with words on the spot for me is sometimes difficult, but you become jaded or you just become, it'll be fine. Like tornadoes, we're like, it'll be fine. I wonder if it's like, oh, tornado, this one, it's tracking up this way. Like you feel like you become weather experts and you're like, that's why we say a hurricane, it's coming. Just get out of there. Like, what are you waiting for? A tornado, it's boom. Like you might be in a tornado watch. The conditions may be favorable, but you don't know exactly when it's gonna strike you. A hurricane, you're like, here's this thing. It's coming in there. You might want to go somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, in any case, I would not want to be in either weather system in my RV. Hands down. I mean, at least in a home, you have a basement if a tornado comes. An RV, no way. So it's important to have like an emergency, preparedness plan set up. We even have friends who have like a boogie bag with really important documents and things ready to go. So they can just grab their backpack when they've got a split when things get bad, which is really smart. We should probably do that.
Wicked smart.
But you just never know. It's just one of those things, when you jump into the lifestyle, you just don't consider, you don't think about. Sure. Well, hey there, some former Floridians.
Red, white, and Bethune.
So
holy moly.
You guys, I am loving all of their pictures at the balloon fiesta in New Mexico. Like, it just looks so magical.
I wanted to go. We were at the grocery store today. I should have stopped and got a helium balloon and being like, what is it? FOMO, fear of missing out, and just have a balloon floating next to the front cap of our RV and be like, oh, I wish we were there. But I got this sweet Mylar balloon that says happy birthday instead.
Right. Some year we'll make it to the balloon fiesta.
Soon, they're Georgians. I'm reading it. But anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, New Horizons was commenting, can't wait to see the full remodel of the bus. Yeah, I've seen photos of that, and it looks pretty spectacular. I mean,
says video out?
I haven't seen it yet. I'm behind on everybody's videos.
And I think they're really good at teasing. I've seen things about the bus.
Yeah.
Or they did a live. And so you see little snippets.
Yep.
That's what's having you on the edge. I want to see it.
It's smart.
They did the van. I think that's what I saw.
Yep, they've been releasing the van videos too. They're Georgians. Okay. They're just at Disney all the time. So that's why I assumed y'all were Floridians. But I'm glad it missed y'all. All right. Yeah, 1,000 Trails lost several campgrounds. Well, they're closed down at least. I know they're probably going to have some cleaning up to do for sure.
The crazy stuff. Some of the pictures I saw, like Peace River, just kind of underwater. Just crazy.
Isn't that crazy? Hey, Fulltime Dream.
Fulltime Dream.
Good to see you guys.
Buffalo. Woo!
They finally won. Woohoo! that was
a little scary. A little hairy in that game, but came out good.
I was driving. I was towing the truck. He was watching on his phone. So
what I could do. Yes.
True. That's true. Yes. So wish we had made it to the balloon fiesta. Yeah. There's always next year. Who hit poor Bill in the head? Did another picture fall? No, we have no shelving up here. Just have cabinets up there. So he is in no danger of hitting his head.
No danger.
But it is a good segue into the medical stuff. Why we've been in Indiana and Ohio all summer long, and what's been challenging about everything we've been going through.
Yeah. So I don't even know how long it's been going on. So I've had this problem with my eye. Like, obviously, you can see it still. They didn't straighten it out or nothing. They didn't. Hey, there's something wrong with that. That part still wrong. But so for the longest time, and even some of our lives in the past, I'm sure you've seen like my eyes just tearing and dripping, and I was having these blisters just form on my eye, and it's been, I don't know.
It's been since before we started RVing.
Yeah, it's been a very long time, but it's been getting worse and more frequent, and these blisters on my eyes. So we got to do something. And I went and I tried to see a doctor in Omaha when we were there once, and the guy was
give you the brush off.
The guy was a jackass. So I'm like, okay, I feel no allegiance to go back there. I don't really have an eye doctor that I'm like, yes, and my medical doctor I've seen since I was a teenager, he's retired, so there's really no allegiance. So what do you do when you're full-timing on the road and you want to go get some sort of procedure done or get something checked out?
Yeah. So although we did spend some time back home in Omaha, just with the sour experience with that doctor at that office that you'd been to for years, like they just were brushing him off. So we didn't want to return to that physician, and they were supposed to be the best in the city. So Omaha was out.
The doctor literally said, I don't know why you're here or what you expect me to do about that. And I should have just said, okay, well, I'm going to leave. But instead, he's like, well, let me at least take a look at it. And they did the thing. And then I walk out, and they want to charge us $200. And I'm like, for what? The guy said he literally can't do anything. Well, they did a full exam. Anyway, that turned me off. And shysters.
So Omaha was out. We could go to Texas, to Waco, because that's our domicile, our home city. The kids and I have gone to a primary doctor there. So we've started to establish medical care there. But being the summertime, it's hot as Hades. What if we go to Texas and then dealing with 90 and 100 plus degree temperatures in an RV while trying to manage these symptoms and doctors and what have you? So in the end, we knew that we were going to be making this trajectory from the East Coast back home because we had spent the winter in Florida. And that's when gas prices were jumping up high. So we didn't want to be zigzagging all over the country either. And my mom said, well, did you know that Cincinnati is actually known for its eye care? Like they have renowned eye specialists there. So we did some research, found an amazing doctor, and called the office. And this is where it gets tricky then. You have to explain to them your situation. It's not just like, hey, I got this insurance. When can I get in? It's like, hey, we travel in our RV. We're only going to be there for a certain period of time. What can you do to help us? So that was challenging. And then trying to navigate finding campgrounds and knowing how long to stay and when to go. That became extremely difficult.
Yep. And it all started back with just kind of researching, I guess, like you would do if you moved to a new town. Mm-hmm. Just researching. Like, I'm pretty sure I needed a corneal specialist. So I'm looking up best, whatever, highest rated, whatever, corneal specialists in Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. And at least this group of doctors came up. And of course, you call them and they're like, well, you give us your information and we'll place you with the doctor. And so that all went fine. And we go and see the doctor. And I guess we had no idea what the timeline would be. We're like, oh, sweet, we'll get in there. He'll get us in the surgery a couple weeks later. And then, boom, we'll be on the road. But turns out, he gets you in there. And he's like, well, go try these eye drops because your eye is really messed up. So let's try to get it to get
It's
the flare-ups
irritated.
to come down a
Yeah.
little bit so we can see a little better maybe what's going on in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, like with my right eye, I've never... How much do you really want to know, people?
Just cut to the chase, baby.
I just never been able to see. So then he's talking about my history and, well, what is this? What's going on? And I'm like, it's just my eye.
It's a process. So
Just
you can't
fix my eye, man.
So being in the medical profession, like when you know what the end game is, you want to jump there. But doctors have processes. You know, they have to start at the beginning and they have to try X, Y, and Z. And only when those things are depleted can you jump to surgery. And some of that is just the way insurance companies work. They're not going to pay for a procedure if they don't feel it's warranted. Ugh, that's a whole other thing. But the doctors want to know you too and make sure that they're making the best decision for you. So when we were here initially, when was it? June and July. We were here in the area for 6 weeks. We essentially bounced from Thousand Trails in Wilmington, just north of Cincinnati. And then we bounced back to Batesville, Indiana at the Indian Lakes Campground where we are presently. And luckily, I think this one is the furthest and it's only like 50 minutes from the doctor's office. So that's been a blessing, the fact that there's been 2,000 Trails parks here. But we had to be very straightforward with the doctor and like, okay, yeah, we're flexible. Like we can make changes as we need to, but here's our situation. Here's how long we're already booked to be here. What does your timeline look like? So it was really frequent visits. I think we had 3 visits before doc scheduled and said, okay, surgery is the best option for you.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, let's get it set up. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, because we need to go to Nebraska because my parents are having an anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not going to be here, but we can come back in September and get it done. So, yeah.
Hey, Cody.
Hello.
Good to see you. He's got a high school friend that's an eye doctor back in South Mississippi, used for Corbin. That is amazing.
Maybe. Someday they're waiting to see, because I've never yet. Like I said, I've never been able to see out of this side, but now it's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a little bit, but then, they said they won't know for a while. So.
But being up front, like in the beginning, like, if you guys have complex medical issues going on and you have a flare-up, or if you know you're going to need a procedure, or if it's going to lead to, XYZ down the road, it takes a lot of planning to get it set up. And you have to be like straight up with the doctor in the beginning. Be like, look, this is the lifestyle I live. So what are we looking at? What's our timeline? And luckily we found a doctor that was very understanding and really laid it out. And he said, okay, it could be this, it could be that, but I need to see you for at least this amount of time. It's like, okay, we can plan that.
And I remember initially you said something about 6 months of follow-up appointments. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. There's no way we're going to be in Cincinnati, Ohio in the winter in our RV. No, thanks.
No.
And then we're like, of course, if there's really something necessary, I guess I could fly up here. But we're talking about, maybe he has a colleague that he knows in Texas or Arizona or something if I want to follow up after 6 weeks. But we're already talking about, apparently we didn't know this whole process here. So apparently we may be coming back here in April because of the sutures and whatever they put in my eye. Apparently they don't even take those out until like after 6 months.
3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
So basically we'd been here for 4 weeks to get all of the pre-stuff done. Then doc said, okay, let's do surgery. That was another challenge because the gal, when she said, okay, the soonest I can get you in is like the end of October. And we said, but doc says we have to stay in the area for 3 or 4 weeks after the surgery for follow-ups. And we can only stay in the campgrounds until November 1st. So that's not going to work. But again, like having that good relationship with the doctor and really, laying out the expectations and how we travel, the scheduler was able to talk to the doctor, and the doctor was able to work it in so that we could get surgery when we came back in the area in September. So we follow up with him one more time on Thursday, and then we're going to get the green light to leave the area because it's starting to get chilly. Like
it is. It's football weather. It's soup weather. Chilly weather.
Because it's cold.
Yeah.
Welcome, RV BFE. There's a guy in a brown van with yellow stripes at the Buc-ee's on I-49 that dropped out of medical school. He does medical procedures on the cheap.
Nice. Nice. Speaking of RV BFE, we met them right here at this very campground.
It's good to see you guys. Welcome. Yeah, it is tough out there though. Like I think, again, you just kind of have to plan, which is hard for us because we're not big planners. We like to fly by the seat of your pants, but that we're learning that doesn't work out, especially just even with like 1,000 trails. Like you have to plan at least a few months in advance or you're not going to find anything.
We're pretty cool. Like we're like, whatever. Like next year we were talking about going up the Pacific coast and going up northwest, and the doctor's like, well, you need to get your sutures out. I'm like, we could do northeast like we were planning on this year. Who knows?
So that's the beauty of RV life. You nail those plans to the wall in Jell-O, and if they have to change, they have to change. So we're learning to scale back our expectations and make changes. So yeah, we're not going to do Cali and Oregon and Washington this year. We'll come back to Ohio.
You know what? Whatever. It's cool.
I don't think
I got a buddy in Phoenix. He can do it for you.
I don't want to stay in Phoenix until April or May either. That's right. Hey, Kurt Ward is here. Good to see you. Welcome.
He's asking if we are still in Indiana. We are until
Sorry, my mouse isn't
Sunday.
working.
We leave
early Sunday morning.
Southern Indiana Sunday.
Yep.
We head a little bit south.
Well,
to a different state.
Yeah, quite a bit south. It's like 7 hours south. Yeah. But we will, we'll be here through the week, and then we head on out. So how long will it be before you can drive? He got the green light officially at, what was it, your 2-week appointment? After your 2 weeks?
Yeah, last week or the week before. Basically, the biggest problem I'm having is just sensitivity to light. Just, again, probably too much information that you really don't care, but this eye was like cataract, cloudy, and all this sort of messed up stuff. So now all of a sudden there's all this light coming into my eye, and my brain's like, whoa, man, what's this? Close your eye, dude. It's too much light. So yeah, if I go outside, it's like when you get your eyes dilated at a doctor, like it takes a while. And sometimes I need the doctor has to guide me for a minute till my eyes adjust. And I think the doctor was saying that's part of it too, is that it takes longer for your pupil to dilate,
constrict, and all that stuff.
The lens. Anyway.
Yeah. So he's driven 2-3 times.
Yeah,
and it's just been short distances.
He said it was all up to me and comfort level and the light, basically. Because you can't drive with your eyes closed. That ain't gonna work.
Yeah. So for now, like I've just been towing. That's the whole reason why we decided to see the doctor and had to make all these plans, because he's stubborn when it comes to his medical care and he puts things off forever. But it became a safety issue, when he was driving, when he was towing. He was just miserable and uncomfortable. It's like, okay, dude, we got to get it taken care of.
Drive.
Oh Lord, no. So I think that'll be the same path we take going forward. It's about safety. So until he fully adjusts, I'll just tow. that's another RV thing that I think every traveling couple or traveling family needs to be able to do is like each individual should know how to tow, should know how to set up the RV and tear down the RV and all of the things, because you never know.
And I've been milking it for all it's worth. I got this 5-pound weight limit. Even the last time we went, I just thought it was like maybe for the first week or couple of days.
Nope.
Like, so can I lift stuff now? They're like, it's hold off. I'm like, yes. And we're getting groceries. Oh, I don't know. I can carry in this loaf of bread. You, the kids, better bring in the rest.
Yeah. The recovery process is longer than I thought. Yeah. So Travis, this has to be Travis. Take them both out and put in some glass eyes.
Talked about it. Doctor said it's a bad option. And again, more than you probably want.
Right.
Both of them, obviously.
Did you get the green light to come for a Bills game?
Maybe next year.
Yes.
In September or something. Yeah.
Super early.
Or but unless they're playing in Arizona or Texas or somewhere warm.
That's true.
But but yeah, it would be great to go to a home game. And actually, we were talking about that.
Yep.
And we talked about you guys. But we were talking about, we need to figure out for sure what the doctor, like, just tell us. Like, how long do we need to be here? Say we come back next April. Someone did ask, did I have the X mark the spot? Asked if I did have the procedure. Yes, I had a corneal transplant. So yes, they were saying that they don't even talk about taking sutures out till after 3 months. But usually 6 months is when they would even start. So you can go longer than that. That's fine. That's why we're already talking about coming back here next year. And we were talking about how cool it would be to go up to Buffalo, Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
Upstate New York.
Yeah, because really the farthest north we had gotten was New Haven, Connecticut. I took a contract there at Yale, and we were able to explore New York City, but we had wanted to go up to Massachusetts and Maine, and we just didn't make it up to those other states. So it would be really fun to kind of, stick to the western part of New England and really explore those. And we know that you guys have done work camping up there. We thought,
you're talking about that also.
Yeah. I know we got a lot of ideas in the fire.
Yeah.
But we just need to know a timeline. Yep. So we'll figure out what the timeline is when we see the doc later this week. And, we'll make a plan and we'll nail that one to the wall in some green.
Tell us or if he's like, come see me. I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
I don't know. We need
it's whatever. We'll figure it out. Yeah, but
I think they only take the sutures out a couple at a time. Anyway,
it's going to be a process. Like, all in all, from visiting him first in June to likely, the process, even if it takes 6 or 8 weeks to get sutures out, and we come back in April, it's going to be almost a full year of dealing with the medical care and the follow-up visits and stuff. So just that alone, it's been a logistical challenge, especially when you don't want to stay in that area for weather reasons.
Yeah, we've come to find things we've enjoyed about the area also. Which, kind of like some other places we've been, we probably would have just passed right over. I've been like, all right, we did a day in Indianapolis and a day in Cincinnati. We're good. But being able to take our time and actually being up in Wilmington with our epic RV adventure.
Yes.
Shelley and Michael actually lived in the Dayton area for a while, but Shelley grew up there, and Michael was stationed there for a minute, so they could show us around and take us to some awesome ice cream spots.
Right, for sure. And then Phil and Sandy from Idle Cruises actually lived in the same area as well. And they happened to, we were all in the same area at the same time later in the summer. So it was great to meet up with other folks and spend some time together, even though we haven't been able to do RV meetups. But, when you're out and you just think in this random area nobody is going to possibly visit, you're like, hey, friends.
Right. Yep.
But yeah, this is why we don't want to stick in Ohio. It's going to be 30s later this week. And like, it's time to go south.
Yes.
Yeah, the campground we're at closes November 1st. The campground we were at in Wilmington closes October 25th. So we knew we were going to be cutting it close. So yeah, it is time to go. Full-time. Oops, my mouse is goofy. I'm going to have a wintry mix this weekend.
Lovely.
Ooh.
Have fun with
Already?
that. No, that
early October. Yeah. Trip on wheels. Terrible. It sounds fun. No way, dude. Ugh. Yeah. Don't ever stay in Abilene, Texas until mid-May. Hot like Phoenix. Ugh. We did Tucson until July 5th because I had a contract that started late, so it ended late. I think it was like after mid-April. It was just Satan's fire. It was
sweet Satan's pitchfork of fire.
Oh my God.
Hot.
It was awful. Awful in an RV. 1 star. Do not recommend. Don't do it. So we'll put Abilene on the list of do not do after May.
No, really.
Hey, Mom's here. Just saw we're live. Yes. Hello.
Hello. Look at that photo. Crying like a little baby.
You be nice.
What was that? Is that when you were leaving Oregon?
It was.
That lasted.
Yes.
That was a great time.
We're in southern Indiana. We're in Batesville. So I gotta Google
near
it.
Batesville.
I don't know where Princeton is. Princeton, Indiana. 146 miles from where we are presently.
Woo!
So 3.5 hours away. Oh, you're on like the other side of the state. We could check and see if it's on the way to Tennessee. Maybe make a little detour. We'll have to keep you posted.
Yes, I did. Don't know. But yes, that is what is up, and that was a little bit about the procedure and the process of getting it. You see, I was messing around with that. See, it was so bizarre because my eyes been clouded over for so long. Like now, I could actually, if you were this close and waved your fingers, I could tell you. But before, like when we go to, it's so stupid. It's so dumb. But we go to the eye doctor. Almost. Yes.
Almost normal.
We go to the eye doctor and they have the giant eye chart with the giant E or whatever. And they're like, cover your left eye, which is my good eye. And I can't see anything. I'm like, just do it. I'm like, okay, idiot. So like, can you see anything? I'm like, nothing. It's like dark. It's black. I see nothing.
Yeah.
And but now I'm like, oh, there's a light there. That's cool. Yeah. That's new.
He'll never be able to see like, you and I see, but it and we knew that going into it, but again, it's about comfort and it's about safety. So if his quality of life can totally be improved, then it's absolutely worth all of the pain and the
bizarre surgery.
Yeah, and all of the headaches.
There's a story. There we go. We tell that. We're headed to meet us in Branson. We're heading to the Rayleigh Creative Travel. I don't even know if it's his or what they call it, but
it's just
pretty sure they're the ones that organize it, I think. Or they're the ones that say, hey, we're going to be there. Come hang out with us. But we're heading to Branson first week in November. We're actually there before that. But come hang out around the campfire. I'll tell you all the stories of my eye and the surgery and bizarre, how you're in this twilight sleep, so you're really awake while they're
digging in your eye.
Digging in your, and you feel it's bizarre.
Yeah.
You feel it. And you're like, okay, am I supposed to be awake? Because this is weird.
Now, Susan, I'm curious. Just because you don't have that functionality in your feet like you did once upon a time, would you be able to modify the truck to do hands driving? Bill and I worked in rehab facilities with brain and spinal cord injuries. So we've seen like the various different adaptive vehicles, like they'll have like a a pivoting ball on the steering wheel, so you can just steer with one hand. And then it's really just push buttons that connect to the brake pedal and the gas pedal to speed up and slow down. And I have no idea if something like that would be functional, for somebody who just wanted to drive it without using those tools, or what even something like that would cost. But that could definitely be an option, just so that you have that ability if, God forbid, anything happened to Jim, or if he wasn't feeling well and you weren't able to drive. But yeah, that's RVBFE's big fear too. If you can't drive, they'd be stuck. I mean, we know that with the RV community out there, you put something on Facebook or whatever, and people are usually they're so loving and just so willing to help each other out. And even if it's, I've seen people drive 3 or 4 hours to go and pick somebody else up, or go and tow someone because a vehicle was out of commission, or, one reason or another. And I mean, yeah, there's tow services. Those are so expensive, but I mean, there's always an option. It's just a difficult option to navigate when you're in a stressful situation. But luckily, we've both learned the ways of the RV.
The ways of the RV. There's still things that she does way better than me. Maybe it's my eye. That's what depth perception. Backing the truck to the fifth wheel hitch. Mm-hmm. I'm terrible at it. When I start backing up, of course, she does it so much that maybe if I practiced, that'd be better. But that's just her job. I'm packing up sewer crap, literally, and the power cords and all that, and she's just hitching up the truck. That's part of her checklist duty.
Yes, but then he is the better backer-upper. And since I've been towing more, even when we were preparing and, getting ready for surgery and stuff, if I had a tow day, normally, we would just switch. If I drove to the campground, we'd switch and he would back it in. And as painstaking as it may be to allow me to learn, he has been very patient in teaching me so that I can develop that skill. So, once you get to driving, maybe we need to do that. We need to let you practice hitching up.
Yeah. I think for me, it's just more the communication thing. Yeah. Why aren't you understanding what I'm telling you?
You say
tomato, you're doing it wrong.
Tomato, you say potato, I say potato. That's kind of our communication style. Susan says, no ice cream. It's pie weather, like yummy. Pumpkin pie with Cool Whip. That's true. That is true. Papa Drew's here, and he loves him some bacon tacos.
Bacon tacos.
Delicious. Just don't have bacon taco ice cream. I would refrain from that. But in any case, we're glad you're here. I would try that. You would. Adventures with Chance is here. Hey,
guys. Are they the ones that I saw? They were just up in, is it Acadia or Maine? They're in Maine. Is that them? That's them. I know it's them.
Oh, they must be, because I think I
even stopped and saw some other friends of ours. Yep. They didn't say who, but I know who.
Yes, I think I saw Carter on a TikTok playing with some other kiddos.
Oh.
Yeah. Good to see you guys. Hope you're doing
Hello.
well. Thanks for coming in. Oh no, Schoolie is broken and coolant is leaking all over the place. Ugh, that is a bummer.
Hope you like where you're parked. Or tell us sometime. Tell us now. How does that work in a bus? They hitch you up to a big old record, tow you somewhere?
I would think so. I mean, that's what they do with big rigs.
What else would they do?
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully you can get it fixed pretty quickly. Adventures with Chance is saying, come to Arizona this winter. Well, that's kind of
we'll see you there.
Yeah.
That's our plan. That's kind of the idea. Thanksgiving in Texas.
Yep.
Christmas-ish in Arizona. Maybe some extended time in Arizona. Adventures with Chance will have to show us the way. We're trying to figure out now ways for Natasha to be able to work just power-wise. Because believe it or not, we do not have a inverter.
Yes.
We do have a generator.
And we have solar.
Yes.
And we have a solar.
So we may need to
controller.
add to that. So maybe we'll hang out with knowledgeable people and add some cool pieces to our RV while we're in Arizona.
For sure. Drew is asking, do you have an Xbox? We need to Xbox bro him.
I got a PS5. They've got some games that are cross-platform. Kids have an Xbox.
They do.
Steal theirs.
That's true. RVBFE, you know you're getting old when the campfire story with the last time I went to the doctor.
That's right. And then you talk about your medications.
Oh, this part hurts today, and oh, what ails you? That's really the
when are we gonna
story.
eat? I need to take my back pills.
You could do it, Susan. I have faith. You could drive that big old truck. I believe it. Drew says got mud covered. Oh, in my eye. Ew, gross. And Chance has had metal in his eye. Now that would be scary.
That's not funny. Yeah.
That would be scary. I talk to patients who've had metal in their eyes, and I get to assess them, but I never get to hear what turns out. But yeah, it's no fun when you're talking about eye stuff and getting it taken care of.
I remember.
Yes, we did. We worked together and rescued the banisters from the desert and Quartzside.
That's right.
Amen.
And they would do it for us in a heartbeat.
Yep.
That's why we did that.
Yeah. And that's just what's great about the RV community. And it doesn't matter, like, you know, who you talk to, where you're from, what's going on. Like, if you're stuck, you're in a sticky situation, like, people will come together and help you out, because that's all we have. You know, when you're on the road, that is each other. You know, you don't have your community. You don't have, you know, your regular mechanic you go to. You don't have your regular doctor just readily available. You have to, like, figure that stuff out on the fly, which is scary if nobody is, you know, near you or hanging out with you or camping with you.
That's another reason to grow your community. Be like, ooh, so-and-so's a diesel mechanic. Yep. So-and-so's a nurse. Let's call them.
That's right.
Just the list goes on. Our computer broke down. We just happened to be with Michael and Shelley, and he's like, hey, I have another spare hard drive for some reason that I've been carrying around the country. Let's just put that in your computer.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been great.
He's in Flagstaff. Oh, we're a little ways away, Drew.
Flagstaff.
I don't think our 350 could tow you, but we would.
Trying to think of who we know. Probably nobody that.
I'm not certain. X marks the spot is heading to Arizona in January. Right on.
Gosh, we've been talking about. Well, we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, still planning it out, figuring it out.
We talked about Quartzsite. They're like, I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, so Drew is in RV park now until December. Next week, driving the schoolie to this repair shop.
Oh, good.
Oh, just need 20 jugs of coolant. Oh, well, we'll say a prayer for you. That is going to be a white knuckle drive, I can imagine.
No, I hear you. I had a buddy that used to joke about putting JB weld. Just put that on the radiator or whatever, and that'll hold your leak.
I suppose it would, if you could find the source.
Yeah. Yes, I need much smarter people than I. I'm part of solar groups. I read their posts. I see people's schematics. I've watched YouTube videos, but I'm still like, that's above my pay grade. That's just a lot of information. And that's, to me, always, electricity has just been like, danger, Will Robinson.
Yep.
Don't touch that. Don't mess with that. You will blow stuff up.
It's true. Even when we were just like installing like the extra batteries and the bus bar and the battery monitor.
I did almost blow myself up.
You didn't almost blow yourself up. You got a little spark. You wouldn't have blown yourself up from a battery.
The socket wrench to the RV.
And then you learned that lesson, and now you'll never do that again.
I wasn't recording. Dang it! That would have been awesome.
No. I don't think awesome is the word I would use then. Yeah. But, you know, like, I think sometimes it's just better to learn things hands-on Honestly, that's how I learn best.
Yes, that is how I learn as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that was about our medical happenings.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any updates? We told you we are heading to Branson.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to stop. Yes, danger. I was gonna say that. Will Stevens, and then Will would be like, "What? What'd you say?"
Hey, Dreaming Out Loud RV.
Dreaming Out Loud RV, another member.
Good to see
is
you
in
guys.
the house.
Woo! Welcome. Getting ready to leave Vermont.
Oh, I bet that's cold.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, you. Look at those faces in the shadows. We need better pictures. We need to hang out with them more. We need more pictures.
Oh, Justin and Christina's RV Van Life is
Hello,
here.
Justin.
Welcome. Good to see you guys.
Christina, Michael.
Yes.
Angel, good morning, Angel.
You can't forget the four-legged friend. That's right. We are in Batesville, Indiana, just out between Cincinnati and Indianapolis for one more week to get the final thumbs up from the doc before we leave the area for the winter to come back in the spring.
Yes.
Yeah. I took out the side-by-side. Now that would be a lot of fun.
You'll have to take out the front seat.
Yeah.
Put me in the back.
Yeah.
Or just mount a chair to the top. That'd be fun.
I don't know. It doesn't have a roof. I bet you'd be all right. Just have to strap you in. It'd be fine.
Yeah.
Yes. But Branson. We are really excited. We lucked out. We hadn't booked Branson in the beginning because we were going to go to the YouTuber Jamboree, and then we had to cancel that because of the medical stuff. And then Bill's like, hey, I think there's like another meetup happening later in the season.
We're supposed to be there because I messaged Blaine and I said, just curious about your meetup, what's happening, and where are any other tips on where else to stay, because it sounds like this Table Rock Lake is full.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, as a matter of fact, in a couple of days we're getting ready to cancel our reservation because they're going to go stay in a hotel or whatever.
Yep.
And like, we'll just transfer it over to your name and you can pay us. And I'm like, whoa, perfect timing.
Yeah, it lucked out.
It's great.
It lucked out. And I think there are still spots open in the campground. We're going to be at Table Rock Lake, but I think that there's, that's a state park. There's tons of parks around the area.
Yes,
it's just going to be a super casual meetup. It's November 6th through the 13th.
If you're not
Branson, Missouri.
RV in the chilly weather kind of person, tons of hotels,
Mm-hmm.
condos,
Mm-hmm.
vacation rental properties.
Yes. So if you want to meet up, if you're free that week or even just part of the weekend or whatever, and you want to meet up, I know
the 6th through the 13th.
I do believe so, yes. Dream on Wheels will be there. Our Epic RV Adventure will be there. Of course, Rayleigh's Creative Travel is there. Their hosting will be there. And there's probably others I'm not even sure about. But those are the names I know for sure that are going. So if you want more information, reach out to Blaine and Mallory, Rayleigh Creative Travel.
Like Epic will be there. Dream on Wheels will be there.
That's right.
Rayleigh's will be there. So,
That's
who else
right.
is going? I don't know.
For sure.
Yeah.
But our time is just about up. So make sure that you head over to Dream on Wheels. They are going to be going live as soon as we are done with our live stream. Make sure you guys are also subscribed to us on TikTok. We've been having a lot of fun releasing shorts.
She's on
there.
fire. She's the shorts queen.
I don't know.
I'm like, well, I don't, and honestly, well, then we talked about anyway. I don't know how people put out like 5 a day or whatever. I'm like, I guess if we set aside just one day just to film shorts all day long, then maybe you'd have a bank of them to put up. I don't know how you folks do that.
We're just having fun. We're just putting content out there. So yes, be sure that you follow us on TikTok, on Instagram, because we still post photos on Instagram too. Of course, Facebook and YouTube. So thank you all so much for coming. It's so great to see you guys. We're going to do this again next month. In fact, probably while we are at that Branson meeting.
Ooh, we should have a back-to-back live with Dream on Wheels.
Ooh,
We could just have 2 full hours, and we'll start on one channel and go to another, and we'll just do them all together.
There you go. Well, there is the link. Thank you, Sue. We appreciate that. Thank you all so much for being here. It was great catching up with you. I'm Natasha.
I'm Bill.
And we are nursing our travel bug, encouraging you.
Wait, I messed it up.
I'm Natasha.
I'm Bill.
And we're nursing our travel bug, encouraging you to nurse what makes you happy.
And that's rolling this beautiful outro. Thanks again to our members. Feel free to join up if you got that FOMO.
That's fair. They're not done streaming though.